Hello, everyone. Rosie Torres here, executive and co-founder of Burn Pits 360. I just wanted to come on here to speak to everyone this Giving Tuesday. I wanted to just share with you all the importance of supporting organizations like Burn Pits 360 and the impact that our work has had on the lives of many, many veterans. So I'm going to give a little bit of time to people to hop on because I'd love to talk to you all. If you have any questions that we can answer this Giving Tuesday, we would be honored to hang out here for a little bit, chat about our victories, chat about the future. I didn't just want to make a video. I wanted to actually interact with all of you. So I'm here. I know people are at work and people are driving, but what I will say is this. I can come and hop back on here later this evening, but I would like to say that when we sat down to create Burn Pits 360, it was really in a moment of desperation and the injustice my own family was facing. And the injustice and the tragedy that so many others were facing as well. Many of you know it's really hard to sit down and it feels like a very isolated space when you're in that moment of life after war. So it's very hard to mingle, network, build friendships with people that haven't been down that road. It affects your family, your work, your health. And so I just wanted to give a little bit of history of how we got here, like how Burn Pits 360 was born. And so it really was born out of tragedy and injustice. And so we sat down, some of the families that we were really close to, and we asked ourselves, how do we deliver impactful programs? How do we help save lives? And how do we help people local? So we came up with, the idea of starting our national headquarters here in Robstown with the support of our local leadership. And we wanted to deliver like a dual purpose approach. And so we knew that our headquarters would be great, but we also wanted to give locally. And so we created the Captain Libre Torres Warrior Support Center. And that is where we operate all of our programs from. We still have our national register. We have amazing programs like the Warrior Hope Network, where we buy oxygen concentrators. We'll send people for stem cell treatment. We'll buy oxygen concentrators. Just really impactful support that will help a veteran get through one more day. We have the Amy Muller Research Program, where our scientific advisory board takes all of the data from our own independent registry and helps build relationships with the healthcare technology that's out there. So it's a very much of a trifecta approach of advocacy, research, education, and the healthcare industry and technologies that are out there. So we have amazing programs. We have the, again, Warrior Support Center, and just lots of great programs that we offer. We do things during the holidays with first responders and veterans. But I really just want to say, the PACT Act was amazing. We have helped 6 million people get screenings, 2 million people receive benefits, but I just wanted to really connect with you today and let you know why it's important to continue keeping the lights on here at the Warrior Support Center, and why it's important to continue funding these programs that are creating change and saving lives. I was one of those families. That's why we created the organization. It's not Lyra and Rosie's organization. It's the organization of the people. And we have great plans for the future. We would love to see a Warrior Support Center open in every city across the country. I feel that this is like a home away from home. For those of you that have never visited our Warrior Support Center, I invite you. We're at 201 North 4th Street. We do also support veterans with hardship grants when we have the funding and it allows us to. We've given bereavement grants in the past. We just recently helped the Sergeant Lloyd family with their funeral and all of those issues that came with dealing with that kind of tragic illness. But there's a lot of work to do. We have a lot of work ahead of us. We have new illnesses to add. We have new policies that need to be implemented. There's a lot of research, in discovering what these dioxins do to the body, and so there's a lot of work ahead of us. So thank you for those that have given today on Giving Tuesday, but I really just wanted to be here for the people to help answer any questions you have. Again, we've built a pretty amazing path of bringing together storytelling of the men and women that have been impacted by war, of bringing together legislators, holding them accountable, and we did that through storytelling, again, by veterans coming to us, coming on the registry, voicing your injustice, and I think we did a great job partnering with organizations like the Grunstyle Foundation, the 9/11 World Trade Center firefighters that truly helped us. But we're doing, again, it's not just Rosie and Leroy here. We have a whole team of doctors who help us on a daily. They manage our data, and they identify trends and pull in, great data to help us go to Congress and go to the VA and DOD and call them out when we need to, right? But 15 years ago, when we were working out of our house, it was a very lonely, horrible place to be because it felt like no one was listening. And I remember a veteran who was on the, hey Ash, miss you, love you. I remember a veteran who was on the Jon Stewart show, and he said, I feel like a canary in a coal mine. Daniela's on here. She's our jack of all trades, but I know she remembers those nights where she sat next to me at 2 a.m. trying to keep it together. Because war isn't nice, but there's a price to war. And I know everyone that's on here would say the same thing Leroy has said, which is, I would go again if they called me tomorrow with this oxygen tank and all. But the truth is this, the truth is that we can't keep the doors open without you, without your support. We can't continue doing research without your support. We do a lot of things here, but we also have, like I said, great programs that when we sat down with these families, we decided what programs will help save a life. Is it an oxygen concentrator? Is it a hyperbaric chamber? Is it gifts during Christmas? And I know we're known for the PACT Act, one of the largest pieces of legislation in the history of veterans. But we also have to roll up our sleeves because it doesn't stop with the PACT Act. People are dying. They're still dying. They're still sick. And so, we don't want, I promise you that we've never sat here and used our money to send people swag. We use every penny here to make sure that whatever we put that money into, whichever program it is to keep one more veteran from taking their lives. So every time we do deliver on a program, I have a great team that surveys the impact of that program, right? Whether it's haircuts for heroes once a month when veterans come and get a free haircut and eat Chick-fil-A, Or it's our Hope for Heroes program that we have coming up, where thanks to HEB and other donors, we're able to pick about 40 families and designate $100 per child for Christmas, so that, you know, the holidays are hard. The suicide rate is 22 a day, and it's probably even, you know, worse during the holidays. I know, I remember, we were there. I remember us, you know, going through that kind of hardship as well, and it's a very dark and lonely place to be. So again, if you feel compelled in your heart to support our work, we have an amazing record of being able to be a small team with a big heart and change history. We stand by that, right? We stand by what we say, and we'll deliver on the things that our supporters and donors and recipients tell us that are creating change. So thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you from our team, our volunteers, Captain Leroy Torres, our family. And again, our doors are open to you to come visit. I'll come on here later this evening, but stay tuned. You know, we have a documentary coming out. If you haven't had the chance to look at the trailer, visit our website, burnpit360.org. If it's $1, $5, $10, or if, just share our social media pages, share our work. We're constantly pushing out great information, and we're working with some great partners like Philips and 4D Medical and a lot of companies that are working shoulder to shoulder with us to make sure that veterans are receiving the technologies that they need, the screenings they need. And I'll close with this. One of our main call to actions is to make sure that these men and women that are dying of cancers and lung disease and brain tumors and all the things we've identified that are covered now under PACT Act, that we will continue to study the data, add illnesses, add presumptive conditions where they need to be added, and we will continue holding Congress accountable. We're not going to stop. But the most important thing is creating a healthcare program like the World Trade Center Health Program. It's the one thing we weren't able to accomplish when we wrote the PACT Act, but now's the time. So please help us keep the lights on here at the Captain Leroy Torres Warrior Support Center. Help fund programs like the Amy Muller Research Program, like the Warrior Hope Network Program, like the Warrior Support Center, and all the amazing programs that you can see on our website, on our social media. God bless you this Giving Tuesday, and I hope you have a good one.